Hi guys, and welcome to Pikama Stitches. Today I'm going to be showing us how to make this beautiful free bubu dress with trendy design on the front. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome, and if you're an OG, thank you for stopping by. Let's get into class. So guys, before we get into class, I wanted to show some beautiful prints I have for our next tutorials. I have this beautiful 1.5 yard of Ankara, and I have this tweed fabric that I really love, and it's just 2 yards. So if you have any style suggestions for this style for the tweed, let me know. Okay, so let's get right into today's tutorial. I have 3 yards of Ankara, this beautiful Ankara print here, and I have this crepe fabric. It's not even up to 1/2 yard, and then my hair stay. So let's go ahead and fold our fabric. I have my fabric folded into 4. The front part is on fold and the back part is on fold, so it's on a fold of 2. So from the top part here, this folded part, we're going to be taking our measurements from there. Now you can decide the sleeve that is on this dress is not a long extended sleeve, okay? So I'm going to be marking my shoulder divided by 2, and I'm just going to be adding 8 inches to that, making it 16 inches for my extended shoulder, okay, plus my neck width, okay? But if you want yours to be longer, you can actually do 22, 25 and above, okay? So for our neck width, we're going to be marking our initial 3 inches neck width, and then at this point I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch for our shoulder slope. Now what will guide you to fold this fabric is the biggest part of your body. For me is my hip, and then you add minimum 7 or 8 inches to that because of the cut together pockets we're going to be making. Okay, so I've gone ahead to slant my neck width to my shoulder slope. Now we're going to be taking all our body measurements from there. I'm going to be marking my shoulder to bust point, which is 11.5 inches, and then I'm going to be marking my shoulder to waist, which is 18.5 inches, and I'm going to be marking my shoulder to hip point, which is 27 inches. And then the full length of this dress is going to be a short one, so I marked out 39 inches plus hemming allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and connect all these lines into a straight line. So go ahead and use your own body measurements. Now while extending these lines, if I don't say thank you, I'm ungrateful. I want to say a very big thank you to the new subscribers I have, to those that are liking, those that are watching. I've seen the massive love from this last video I just uploaded, and I want to say thank you. May God bless you. It encourages me to put out more tutorials. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. God bless you. So let's get right back into class. I have here my bust point, my waist, my hip, and the full length of my dress. Now at this bust line, remember it's a free dress, okay? So I'm going to be marking my bust measurements divided by 4, and I'm going to be adding 3 inches of ease to this. You can decide to do 4 inches, okay, but 3 inches is just fine. Now at the waist, you can decide to mark the same thing at the waist, but what I have here, I'm just going to take out 1 inch from that, okay? So I just took out 1 inches from what I have at my bust point and I placed on my waist, okay? Now for my hip, I'm going to be marking my hip measurements divided by 4, and I'm going to be adding 3 inches to that, and I'll connect it to my waist point, and what I have at my hip point, I'm going to be taking it straight down to the hem of the dress, okay? I'm taking it straight down. Now it totally depends on what you want. You can decide to leave the waist, okay, the way it is, or you can decide to take your bust measurement all the way to the hem, okay? Now for a sleeve opening from the slanted part to my bust point, I have 10.75, which is perfect, but I wanted it to come down some more, so I came down from my bust point by 1/2 inch. You can actually leave it if you want to, okay? And I curve it out this way. Can you see what I'm doing? It doesn't really necessary. You can just let it be, okay? Now remember, I had 16 inches at the shoulder, so you can decide to take that same 16 inches at this bust point and connect for your sleeve opening, or you can decide to slant it out some more at this bust point if you don't want that curved part to be so short or snug on you. It's absolutely fine. So for our pockets, this is my waistline. I want the pocket opening to be minimum 7 inches. So from my waist, I'm marking down 7 inches and I'm going to connect it out the way you see me do. Curve it out. Now from my waist, I came up by 1 inch. Can you see what I have there? And I connected it out round. Now if you have enough fabric, you can make this pocket 8 or 9 inches length, okay? But I think mine was 8 inches, so go ahead and curve it to be as wide as possible for your hands to go in freely. So what I have here is 8 inches, is absolutely fine. And then I went up by 1 inch from the waist, and I have here 8 inches as well, which is perfect, okay? And I've curved this out and we are done. Now at the top part, for your neck width, you can do 4 inches, you can do 3.5, but I did 3.75 for the neck width. And for the neck depth of the back, I came down by 1 inch and I connected it to my 3.75. And then for the neck depth, I did 7 inches. You can do 8, you can do 9, okay? But I did 7 inches and I connected it in a V shape to my neck width, and we're done, okay? Now for this part, for you not to be confused, you can go ahead and mark straight the same thing, 16 inches that you have at the shoulder. You can connect it straight, or you can decide to slant it, but I decided to slant mine some more because I needed some more ease at the armhole area, at my sleeve opening area, okay? That's the reason I extended mine some more. So I'll go ahead and just cut this out, but make sure you're cutting out the back neckline first, then later we'll go ahead and cut out the front neckline. Now I can never get tired of saying thank you and thank you and thank you for liking my videos, for subscribing, for posting, sharing, for everything, every show of love. From the depth of my heart, I say thank you. May God greatly reward and bless each and every one of you for taking out time to subscribe, to like. May God greatly bless and increase you. And if you have any tutorial that bothers you, that you want us to work on, please kindly let me know in the comments. I'll give you a WhatsApp number that you can send it to me, okay? Thank you so much, guys. I'm grateful. So I've gone ahead to cut this out. Just cut it out the way you see me do, okay? And I'm going ahead to align this lower part smoothly. Then after doing this, you can go ahead and correct the front neckline. Please be careful. Can you see the way I curved this part and I extended mine a bit, okay? You can leave yours straight, or you can go ahead and curve it the way I did mine. It will not alter anything, okay? So I'm going ahead to take out my pin from the front piece because I want to cut out the neckline. Please go ahead and separate yours so you don't make mistakes, okay? So I'm cutting out the front neck depth, and this is what we have. Very simple and very beautiful. So we're going to separate the front from the back to cut out our facing. Now for the back facing, I'm going to be using this little fabric that I have here. I'll fold it into 2. Remember, the back is on fold, so your facing also needs to be on fold. Now ensure this center part is well aligned, okay? And then go ahead and trim the neck depth, the neck width, sorry, that you have here, and then the shoulder slant. Now after doing that, can you see what I have? So I'm going to I marked 3 inches, okay? that was what I had there, 3 inches, and then at the shoulder I had 2.5 inches. So 2.5 inch at the shoulder, 3 inches for the facing, the depth. Okay, so I'm going ahead to measure it for you to see. So that's what I have. So when you place this, this is what you're going to get. So let's work on the front. So for my front, I have this piece of crepe fabric that I'm going to be using. Okay, the length of this crepe fabric is 19.5 inches. You can do 20 inches or you can do less. Okay, and then the width I have here is 17 inches. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to bring my front piece. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this fabric into two, because we need the center front to be on fold for us to cut out the V shape, okay, the neck depth. So go ahead and align this perfectly. Ensure the center part is sitting relaxed and well. Okay, you can go ahead and pin this down, okay, so it doesn't shift when you're cutting this part out. I'm going ahead to pin mine down. Okay, we need to get this slant very accurately. I hope my English is correct. So just go ahead and cut out the same shape, okay, that you have on your main fabric on this our facing and this our front design. And when we're done, go ahead and align the shoulders, okay, and that's what we have there for the front. I'll go ahead and take out my pin and go ahead and align every part. Okay, every excess I have, I'm just going to trim it off, because we need everything to be straight, equal and neat. So I'm going ahead to notch this midpoint so it will guide you when you're making the fold. I'm going to be showing you now, okay, but I'm going to go ahead and fold this lower part. You use your stay. We're going to be ironing your stay to this crepe for it to have more structure. Now after ironing this midpoint, can you see, it will guide you to make your fold for us to get that V shape. Can you see what I have here? You create your V shape. Ensure one side is no longer than the other side, and make sure now your eye is going to be your guide. Can you see one side here is longer? I'm going to go ahead and straighten this out. This V part is going to be your guide. Your V has to match with the V at the neck depth. Can you see what I have? So I'll go ahead and iron my stay to this, and when you flip it to the right side, this is what you will have. Now before I do that, we're going to work on the strip of fabric. This is the fabric, the Ankara fabric I have left. So I'm going to be cutting out the strip. That's the design that we have on the crepe, okay, in front. So I've gone ahead to fold this into two, and the length of this strip I'm going to be cutting out 2 inch. Now I cut out 2-inch strip because I wanted mine to be more bold, but if you want exactly what is on the thumbnail on the design, you're going to be cutting out 1.5 inch, okay, of fabric, or 0.75, okay, so that by the time you stitch half of an inch, when you flip it over, you should have 1 inch left if you want yours to be tiny as the design that we have there, okay. But for mine, I cut out 2 inches, so after sewing up half of an inch to flip over, I was left with 1.5. That's why my own design is as bold as. But please, if you want exactly what is on the thumbnail, go ahead and cut out 1.5 inch strip of fabric. After sewing up half inch, you'll be left with 1 inch. So I'll cut as many as I need. So can you see what I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I ended up not using all of this. So I'm going to show us how to fold this. You go ahead and open up one strip, okay. You're going to fold this on the wrong side like this, and then you're going to sew up your half of an inch. When you're done, you turn it to the right side and give it a good press. So I'll show us what I have. So I've gone ahead to iron this part, and I folded it 1/2 inch on both sides and at the lower parts. Can you see the center is aligning? Very important. Now this is how the inside looks. Okay, now this excess here, you can go ahead and trim this off. I had to use my hemming gum to hold this lower part in place so it doesn't move around. So I'm going ahead to trim off some more. You can decide to trim even more and leave just 1 inch or 2 inches, okay, but since I've used my hemming gum to hold it in place, I just had to reduce very little. Okay, but if you don't want it to be bulky, you don't want excess, you can go ahead and trim out more. And I folded it 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay, can you see how neat this is? Now when you flip it over, our V shape matches. And I've gone ahead to prepare this strip of fabrics. Can you see what I have here? Okay, I've turned it to the right side and I've given it a good press. Now I'm going to show us how we're going to attach this to this fabric that we have here. Please pay attention. This is where the real design is. Now you can decide to measure from this V point to this V point. Measure the distance that you have. Okay, now after measuring the distance, if you have 10 inches, for me I had 9.75 distance. From that distance, you can decide to divide what you have there into 3 equal halves, because from the design they made 3 strips of fabric. Now what you have after dividing into 3, you can decide to mark what you have, so that will guide you on where to place the 3 different strips of fabric. Okay, for me I had 2.5 inches. You can go ahead and mark 2.5, 2.5 at different places for the 3 strips. Now if you want to make 4 strips, 4 designs, you can divide the length here, what you have, and divide it into 4. What you have, you can mark it to guide you on how many steps you want to achieve. Okay, it depends on how many design you want, but make sure everything matches. Now from the design, I had to bring in my phone to show us. Can we see what we have here? The strip of fabric is tiny, and on the sides here they have to align. So from this corner, I'm going to be marking 1 inch. On this part, I'm going to be marking 1 inch as well. Can you see what I have? So if you have 3 strips, can you see this is how they are going to align, so you get a perfect design from that first 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to be marking upwards another 1 inch. So if you want 4 strips, go ahead and mark 1 inch in 4 places, but for me I ended up using 3 strips of fabric for this design, so I'm going to be marking 3 lines, 1 inch. I really hope this is understandable. Okay, so you place it from here to that part, from here to that part, so the center matches, the sides matches, so everything can be equal. Now there are 2 ways to go about placing this strip of fabric. You can place it from here, from your center line. You can create your V. Let me make this line really visible for us to see the center line. Let me use a white chalk that will easily go off. I don't have a fabric pen, but I'll advise you use a fabric pen. Okay, so now this is our center line. Now you can go ahead and pick 1 strip of fabric. I want to show us how to go about this. This is the first method. You place, when you get to the center, you flip this the way you see me do to the other 1 inch at this other part. Can you see what I have? You can do it this way and sew it down, but that's not the method I'm going to be using. This is the method I'm going to be using. Fold your strip of fabric into 2, and at this midpoint you're going to be sewing in a slanted manner. After sewing it, you're going to be cutting off the excess. Let me use a chalk to show you. You sew in a slanted manner like a V shape. You sew it and cut off the excess. Okay, now after sewing it, this is what I have. Can you see what I have? It will naturally give you that V effect. Then trim off your excess neatly. Let me bring it up close. Can you see the line? Now you're going to use your scissor cut off the excess that you have there. After trimming it off, when you place this, the V shape just comes out naturally. Can you see what I have? So where you have this V is where it's going to lay on this line. Let me bring it up close again. I hope you can see this. Okay, go ahead and trim off the excess. Just sew a slanted line. When you lay it down, your V design comes up. Okay, I will still do another one. I want us to get this. Can you see the line? I really hope this is visible enough. Can you see the slanted line I made? I'm going to trim off the excess very close to the thread, okay, but don't cut through. And when you open it up, you have the same effect. So this is the method I used. So now at the center, I'm going to be placing this. Okay, remember our 1 inch on both sides. So you place the V effect, match it to your 1 inch on this side, match it to your 1 inch on the other side. Can you see? Then you will sew with a matching thread very close to the edge here, from one edge to the other. When you're done, you sew at the top part as well. You bring in the next strip of fabric, ensure your 1 inch is matching, the V part is matching with the line there, and then you extend to the other side and sew. You bring in the next strip of fabric. Just go ahead and make sure everything is lying correctly, and then use a matching thread. I had to use a black thread, okay, because of the Ankara, okay, and I sewed very close to the edge and sew neatly. Okay, now I had to use my pin to hold them in place before going to my sewing machine. So I advise you use your pin. Ensure this center line is matching. Okay, go ahead and align everything. I had to open up my 1/2 inch seam on the sides. Okay, now you're going to sew neatly from one end to the other end and sew the top part the same way. I'll quickly do that and show us what I have. Now this is what I have after me. Can you see how beautiful this is? I'm loving this already. Can you see? Now this is the inside. Can you see the thread, a matching thread? And after that I had to fold in my 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay, can you see how neat this is, both inside and out? So you're going to bring in your front piece. Okay, we're going to be stitching up the facing right now. So I'm going to show us how to sew this up neatly, and we'll use this facing to turn the neckline as well. So you're going to turn your facing right side down. This is the right side. Okay, you're going to place it down the way you see me do, and then this is the right side of my Ankara. So the right side of the Ankara is up, the right side of the facing is down, and then you're going to match the shoulder. Right side of the facing facing the wrong side of the Ankara print. You can go ahead and use your pin to hold it in place, and this other part you're going to be pinning it down the same way. I hope you understand. Just do exactly what I'm doing. Now after doing this, when you lay the neckline to align, can you see what we have now? Ensure the neckline is matching. You go ahead and sew up the neckline by 1/2 inch. Now after sewing this, when you flip this to the right side, can you see you've ended up turning the neckline neatly? And please ensure that the V part of this design is matching the center, okay, of your dress, and you sew through these corners with a very neat stitch very close to the edge. I hope this is understandable. I'll flip this over again for us, but first go ahead and sew up the neckline. So after sewing up, turning the neckline, can you see how neat it is? And then I've gone ahead to stitch those corners in place, and I've turned the back neckline. This is what I have. I've turned it neatly with the facing. You're going to lay them right sides facing each other, and you're going to join them with 1/2 inch on the shoulders. Okay, you can decide to pick this facing to wrap it up and turn it neatly with of an inch. Okay, you do same for the other shoulder. Now when you're done joining the shoulders, make sure your fabrics are well aligned front and back. You can use your pin to hold all the sides in place. You go ahead and fold your sleeve 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch, and you hold it in place, and then shape the sides either with 1 inch sewing allowance into your pockets to the hem. When you're done, you fold the lower part. So I'll do that and show us. Now this is our beautiful dress. I'm loving this dress. It's a simple bubu dress. You can rock it any day, anytime. Can you see what we have? So neat and so beautiful. I love it, and I love this choice of crepe fabric. So thank you so much guys for stopping by for today's tutorial. I hope it was really helpful. And these are pockets. Can you see? Sitting pretty and neat on the sides. Till I see you next time. Bye bye.